What's up everybody, this is Ripples in Wales, back for another video. I hope you're all okay, I hope you're having a great day, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing. So, the news space and the media space is moving fast at the minute in the crypto world. There's a lot going on, there's a lot to pay attention to. We're going to do a bit of a jump today to look back at some of the Ripple Riddler work. We're going to look at some of the images that he left for us. We're going to have a quick look at the news. Always cast our eye over that. It's important to see whether the current state of affairs is. The news and the headlines and stuff will often give you an idea of where they're taking this, because that's the thing that you need to keep your eye on is the news, and and then marry that with the kind of how the charts are feeling. This is my Twitter channel. I normally leave this on the first slide in the video as an intro. I'm very active on here. You get a lot of interaction from me on here. So if you're not on Twitter, come on. And I generally do quite a lot of posts on there each day. Thank you so much for all the subscribers, new subscribers to the channel. We've got over 410 now, aiming for 1,000. Just want to reiterate, please smash the likes and drop a comment in the videos. It helps the algorithm massively. It starts pushing these videos out to people, and the idea is the more we can share this content out, the more people can get an understanding of what's going on. It isn't all going to be about riddlers. I'm going to lay a foundation of the Riddler work in here to begin with, and then we're going to transition over into kind of more kind of technical stuff, looking at on-chain stuff. But this is how I started. So it's I want to build a knowledge base in some of the fun things that I learned from 2017 onwards. To now, and then hopefully you get the same kind of learning curve that I did, and it helped. It saw me through the dark winters. This style of content. But anyway, please smash the like. It helps the algorithm massively, and drop a comment. Tell me your thoughts on the video. If it helped, does it make sense? Is there some challenging points in it? It's good to kind of go back and forth over it. I'm always interested, and I'm very responsive in the comments. So come and say hi. Anyway, we're looking at. This is one of the chap in the XRP community, Torre Corton. He is an amazing young chart analyst from London area. He resides in Antarctica at the minute. But anyway, he posted a post out today that really resonated with me, and I wanted to bring that to your attention. It was to do with current market sentiment, and it was regarding, just the kind of state of affairs. I want to look at it. This is what he put. Thoughts. Seems like a cleansing is taking place in crypto. It's a weird phase that we've been stuck in, fundamentally balanced, promising news from the long term concerning news in the short and medium term. Sentiment is relatively neutral and has remained balanced for several months thanks to the longer consolidation emerging. The lack of movement creates uncertainty because BTC hasn't necessarily created a bullish structure off the ETF chain reaction, and also hasn't dumped hard off the scandals taking place. Observations. The ongoing SEC rampage isn't a coincidence. This is the initiation of regulations. Crazy to see it finally happening. And I'm just going to interject there. We all have been hearing about regulations for 4 or 5 years now in this place. So it is crazy to see this happening. I'll continue. From what we can see, the regulatory approach is clearly sending a message. Call it playing dirty. This is just the beginning. We do not necessarily know what they'll do next, but we can only presume they'll have many tricks up their sleeves. It can take one major exchange, one major rug, one new law, stable coins, and anything can be targeted in the name of regulatory action to sweep the floor. SBF equals donations and equals protection. Protectors plus SBF equals FTX2. Are they trying to create a one exchange to gain dominance? Summary. Maintaining a cautious approach. Very important. This is what I've been saying. The lack of momentum, especially to the downside, is leading to somewhat of a crypto invincible belief. I fear BTC mirroring XRP's pump would only worsen things. Because the last bull outperformed the others, the retracements up and down and naturally larger. You shouldn't let this fool you. Having an underlying uncertainty of what regulatory measures will be taken next is quite concerning, especially due to the fact that it is slowly unleashing after 100-200% increase across most coins. This is massive, and it's so super important. It's going to wrong foot so many people when this comes off. I think the coins have already pumped. People are now starting to rush in after these positive ETF news, BlackRock, and this is the classic media manipulation to lure retail in. wrong foot them and then pull the rug. Being aware of the downside is always valuable, especially when you see who we're up against and what they're demonstrating. Again, massive, amazing clarity in Torre's points here. This isn't FUD, just routine thought exercises to do on a frequent basis. Thought I'd share this one. I know where to continue typing, but there's a lot of technicals to point out. Okay, anyway, this is Torre. Please give him a follow and a like. I follow a lot of his chart analysis. He's such a clean-cut individual. He's not into the riddlers and things like that. He is chart analysis and very technically orientated mind, and he's done very, very well for himself in the past and called it right a lot of times. So give him a follow. I like a lot of his content. So the points from Torre's thread there is that the market has got a great level of uncertainty in it, and the uncertainty all backs onto the ideas of regulation coming down the line, and we don't know which turn it's going to take. We've seen all the exchanges, as I went over in my previous video yesterday. Binance and Coinbase have been served Wells notices. They're going to be potentially prosecuted by the SEC. There's 13 charges against Binance. Coinbase were asked to delist all of their tokens, and except from Bitcoin, I beg your pardon, on Coinbase. And so we can see that there's a massive smash and grab going on. And I talked about this in one of the videos previously, or many of the videos, with this fire scene. And hate to kind of conjecture and bring in the kind of clean chart analysis onto the stage of the riddlers, but it's just an observatory point, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. But the gavel was brought in for September to show there's regulations coming through. Okay, and the September is on the bottom left-hand corner of this calendar, and beneath it we had all these coins going through a coin crusher and a massive fire in the middle. Okay, they use metaphors in these cryptographic cartoons, and the fire metaphor is burning down and a cleansing. Torre mentioned the word cleansing, and he sees what I see on a chart basis and on a news basis, and I'm taking those two data sets and I'm marrying it straight across onto what I was given in terms of a picture, or what you all have been given, and I'm pulling off the page what I see and what I see coming to the fore. The coin crusher, and we've talked about the coins in previous videos. These are tokens that are likely to go through some sort of regulatory clarity, or uncertainty rather. They're going to go through some regulatory uncertainty, and you've got to read between the lines here. I'm not saying any specific token's going to do well or not do well. I'm saying that the whole space now has been turned on by the SEC, and they're going after exchanges, tokens, people. Justin Sun, we've seen Hex founder, served a notice yesterday. This is going to happen on a big way, and the reason is we're going to see it handed over to the legacy institutions. They are going to take it over from here. We have stress tested the lines for them. We have tested NFTs for them. We've tested the transactions down. We have provided a base level use down the lines, so that they then can take it and move it forward into the bigger arenas. Okay, this is just the beginning. Anyway, I want to bring it back to that picture. We'll come to that later on. So always keep an eye on what Torre is saying. There is an account here called the XRP Riddler Archive, and it is an amazing Twitter account run by Phil Dewar, who I've spoken to and known the XRP community for the past 4 years at least. I think it's 4 years. Yeah, it is 4 years plus. He has a fantastic YouTube channel, and also he's an archiver. He basically puts all the content that was created for the Riddlers into a YouTube channel, and also he has a great Twitter thread, and you can go through a lot of his stuff on here. I wanted to mention him. We're going to come back to him at some point in the future. I'm going to go through some of his threads. News today, let's just have a quick look at this now. One of the main ones I spotted, yes, SBF news. Yeah, it's getting crazy, isn't it? He's been released with no charges, and now FTX wants to start up FTX 2.0, and I believe this is the deep state, trying their way to create an exchange to be a leader in the space. The old banking sector, whoever you want to call the deep state, it doesn't matter. I really don't trust these organizations like Cointelegraph or CoinDesk or any of them. They're all owned, they're all controlled, They post what they want to post out. They certainly don't cover Ripple and XRP. They never have. And I believe back in the day that we figured out that they were owned and controlled by the Digital Currency Group, or at least one of them was. I can't remember which one. We'd have to do some digging. I'm sure Cowboy Crypto could do that. Anyway, Michael Saylor's bought a load more Bitcoin. He's going to sell up to 750 million stock, possible BTC. It's important. Keep an eye on this guy, okay? I mean, a lot of the people in the XRP community are kind of maxis towards XRP, and I would argue against this, or I would warn against doing this, because I was one of those people, and then I transitioned to understanding a bit more about all of the chains and realised that we're going to be in a multi-chain world. And I bring that back to the likes of Michael Saylor is a software developer. I've listened to a lot of his work, and he's a very, very smart guy. Okay, he knows what he's doing. Okay, and he's building software on the Lightning Network. Now, he is acquiring Bitcoin holdings as a way of offsetting his capital. He openly talks about Bitcoin as a store of value. He doesn't talk it just right now as a payments systems. However, they're building Lightning out quite quickly now on the Bitcoin network, and Lightning is the kind of payment rails as a kind of layer 2, if I've understood it correctly. And it's been in the talks for years, 4 or 5 years. And now you've got the likes of Coinbase. Looks like they're adding Bitcoin Lightning for payments. And this morning I was just retweeting some of Jack Dorsey had, if I'm going to see this now, yeah. So I put huge here. Brian Armstrong was replying to a tweet by Jack Dorsey saying, Jack Dorsey said, why aren't you ignoring Bitcoin? Why aren't you building on it? And finally, Brian Armstrong kind of felt it was necessary to reply, and he said, we're looking into how to build best light. We're looking into how to build to best add Lightning. It's non-trivial, but I think worth doing. I'm all for payments taking off on Bitcoin. Not sure why you think we're ignoring Bitcoin. We've onboarded more people to the Bitcoin than probably any company in the world. Okay, and Jack replies, no doubt Coinbase introduced more people to Bitcoin than anyone else in the world, and I'm grateful for that. Putting more of your resources towards your original focus on Bitcoin and Layer 2 technologies would be amazing, and we'd be happy to partner up. Jack is building out on the Bitcoin Lightning. And I bring your attention to the Bitcoin Lightning because we know that the Bitcoin network is the largest in the world. It holds, by a country mile currently, the largest number of nodes, and it is the largest the owned asset in the crypto space. And they're building out payments technology underneath it. Don't ignore it. I always have some Bitcoin myself. I'm a big proponent of Bitcoin. It is the legacy asset that started this whole space off, and you can see they're now building out on it, and they're going to start building out on it on the layer 2s. And so remember, there are multiple layers in any chain, and Bitcoin, as Michael Saylor's layer 1, as Michael Saylor talks about it, is like the bedrock layer, and everything builds out on top of the layers. Really interesting take on things. Anyway, some of the interesting news I spotted is to do with Bitcoin Lightning layer, and Michael's strategies in a lot of the news this morning. He bought, I think, another 750 BTC, or was it 400 BTC this morning? How much was it? Sorry, I'm probably going to confuse things by. There we go. I think he bought a load more, like 450 odd. Anyway, he owns a lot of it, over 150,000 BTC now. Anyway, other little news. I want to kind of just mention quickly these NFT platforms on the XRPL. I do spend a lot of time on NFTs as well. I really enjoy them. And, this is very early in its state on our chain. There are 2 platforms that I use, and I want to give them a shout out on XRP. And I also use XSmart. My friends that I know built XSmart, that I've been in the space talking to for years, and these 2 companies are doing really cool things. If you like NFTs like I do, they're 2 cool platforms to use. So, onto the Ripple Riddler. Now, this guy came onto the space in 2018, 19, and he posted a number of pictures out, and then a load of videos out. The main pictures that he posted out are these ones here. And we're not going to do a deep dive today, but we're just going to bring them to your attention. I want to bring them into your 4. He released, I think it was 5, beg your pardon. There is a 5th, I'll bring it up in a minute. This is the first one. We touched upon it yesterday. The Riddler's holding the word hold, not hollow, as someone's interpreted the O on. It is hold. It's the best quality image I can find. Then there was this smokes and mirrors picture, which you may have seen before. Then there was the bull rising picture with Wall Street. And then we had the famous, what I call R3 picture, which was recently echoed by the new Ripple Riddler account that popped up. I think he's at 12,000 XRP is the current, where we think the Riddler is currently on Twitter. That's his Twitter handle. And these 4 pictures are very similar to the BG123 pictures. Okay, they're done in order. They are released to explain a set of certain events that are going to occur, and they carry with them an incredibly large amount of information, cryptographically kind of intertwined into the pictures. The 2 that we will focus on in the next few weeks are the top 2. So we're going to look at this particular picture and the smoke and mirrors picture, and we're going to tie those into the BG123 and marry them across a little bit, and hopefully show you parallels between these two people, these 2 riddlers that released, or 2 sets of people that released these cryptographic information cartoons out to us all, to kind of keep us entertained and focused to persevere through the down periods in the crypto asset space. The 2 that I want to just quickly focus on, I'm going to minimize those guys now. There was the 5th one, sorry, and it's this one. This is the famous kind of code-based one that was also released. We're not need to focus on that yet. These are the 2. I'm just going to bring them a little bit larger, especially this one to begin with. Let's bring them right out. Now, we talked about this yesterday. Where is my? Got some Ripple Riddler interp by other people on these. This is Sam doing an interp, a screenshot of Sam doing some interp back in the day, 2018, on one of the Ripple Riddler pictures. Sam was amazing at this. I want to get him on channel when I can figure out how to do that kind of stuff in the future. So this is the interpretation that someone did on this image, and it's quite good. Whoever did this, I would love to give you a shout out, but I don't know where you are and who you are, so I apologise in advance. I'm just going to bring these 2 up, and we're going to just cross-reference them a bit. Now, we talked about the fire scene, we talked about the level playing field. We believe that's coming reasonably soon. I've thought it's been coming for the past 3 years on each of the Septembers, and I've got it wrong. So let's just show, I need to show an area of humility there, because I often get it wrong. So please do not use timelines or anything for any, this is not financial advice. Don't just use this as a bit of fun interp, and maybe we're just playing around with some ideas on how we can tie these pictures together. In the left-hand picture, you can see the base picture has a clock on it. They use clocks for months, and you've got an area of green mist with the Riddler himself holding the word hold, with an iron rod going through it. And we've got starry sky in the background. On one of the, I think it's the minute hand, we've got, or is it the hour hand? Oh, it's the hour hand, and the minute hand is at the bottom here. This is the hour hand, and written on the hour hand, you've got some inscribed writing. We'll go over that in a minute. You've got a constellation, which is Ursus Major, which is called the Great Bear. Oh God, I hadn't thought about that before. It's not just the Big Dipper. Ursus Major is the bear, the Great Bear. There are 2 constellations in the Northern Hemisphere that we all know very well, Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. I know this because I do celestial navigation with yachting. Not proficiently and not very well, but I know it just to know some of the major starscapes. And off the top of the Ursa Major, you find the North Star. It's called Polaris, and that is always how you find your way navigating, sailing around the world. I do a lot of sailing, or I have done in my past lives, and the early navigators and the current ones use Ursa Major. So it's interesting that I hadn't really thought about that until now. Anyway, there is some writing inscribed on this. Oh, if they hadn't have put the bloody purple on it, which you can see on the right hand side image. And yeah, there's 11:30 at the bottom, which I'd never saw before. They had to invert these images with their kind of color scales to bring a lot of this information out sometimes. And The interpretation by the person who did it was, using the 9 clock hand as 9. The next one is 10, 11, 12, and they refer to 9 September, 10 October, 11 November, and 12 December. That's just how the person is interpreting this. We have 11:30 there, which can mean, the halfway through November, or it's just 113 in terms of numerical interpretation. On the zero, on the D, you've got hold on to the iron rod and do not stray. Mist represents FUD. Now this is so important. Okay, this is one of the main anchors I want you to take back from this video, and this is what prompted me to make this video today. We are going to see an enormous amount of FUD in the space of XRP right now, all the way until we start seeing some sort of price appreciation and movement. We're seeing many comments in the Twitterverse currently to do with FUD and poor reports by judges saying that Annalisa Torres had made a poor decision, and Stuart Alderadi has come out and made various videos saying no, this is not the case. I'm just scanning through my feed here to see if I can Stuart Alderadi is the guy, S. Alderadi to follow. He is, I think, Ripple's lead counsel, chief legal officer, and he's come out and said no, this is rubbish. It doesn't really matter what another judge says. It's a non-security. XRP is a non-security, and it is deemed that. And so my point being is that there's going to be a lot of FUD coming through now. I'm just having a scan through the Twitter timeline. We can't find it. We'll come back to it. There's going to be a lot of FUD. We're in August now. Okay. We're going to be moving into September, which is a level playing field. Okay. It is always darkest before the dawn. Remember that. So they are going to, and they being the media, they being the old banking cartel, they are going to do their damnedest to create massive FUD for retail during the next 2 or 3 months. Okay? Because XRP is out of the gate, right? It's off the floor. It's doubled in price pretty much. Okay, and that is bringing the eyes of institutional investors. Now, the mist in this image represents FUD. Okay? And we can see it extends between September and October. I do not, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see enormous levels of FUD intensify to do with XRP, the decision being incorrect. There's going to be massive appeals, there's going to be threats, there's going to be, conjecturing, there's going to be chest beating, Gensler's going to come on stage. They're going to throw everything at this. They're going to throw every style of FUD article and misdirection and deliberate malevolence at this at XRP. They're going to make it so difficult for the retail to know which way is up and down, right? And in that moment, the Riddlers have told you that when the level playing field starts, 9, which is September, there's going to be a lot of confusing signals from the media. This is why it is important to zoom out from the FUD. Do not get emotionally intertwined with these charts, and to remember that it is always darkest before the dawn. And he says there, hold on to the iron rod and do not go astray. We may see a massive retracement in September. We may see a reckoning of sorts in the markets, as I've talked about with that fire scene in the bearable guy scene here, where this phoenix is rising, September, October. Okay, if there's a massive fire in the space and all these tokens start getting lawsuits thrown upon them, expect chaos in the markets, and we can impose onto that the confusion and the other debt washouts that may occur in the legacy banking system as this transition occurs. We are witnessing a global transition of power and banking superiority, and also we're witnessing a change in paradigm on the internet, where we're having new layers of money sent down these rails. This is fundamentally a very special time, and the old oligarchy that have controlled the planet are losing the power. Okay, so expect them to use every tool at their disposal to try and confuse you and me into parting with these assets. He's also got this starscape above here, which we've talked about, Ursa Major, which is the Great Bear. Great Bear market, pointing to the Polaris, the North Star. He's got the Big Dipper. Okay, So we talked about that fireplace, okay, and the fire. Where's the fire? In October, above October on the mantelpiece on the calendar. September, October, November, December. The fire is occurring here, okay. The XRP stocking, the purple stocking, is pegged on the mantelpiece between November and December, right between the two, so December the 1st. Take what you will of that, okay? But going back to the Ripple Riddler's pictures, he shows clear skies, starry skies, between October, November, December, okay? On the hour hand, it has the inscription, I came, I saw, I conquered. If I'm not mistaken, that was from Julius Caesar in some of his exploits around, or conquests around Europe. So, you know, the 11:30, you know, we've got I came, I saw, I conquered, which is the hour hand, pointing up straight into the middle of between November and December, which is 11:30. Okay, we can see that maybe this winter we'll see things catalyzing. And his hands is saying, hold. Do not part with your tokens, okay? Hold. Hold on to the iron rod. And he's holding this between kind of, you know, I think also it's got between 10 and 11. So the hold is it could equal 1, 1, 0. So you've got 11 and 10. So 10 and 11. Between 10 October and November, 11, hold. Don't fall for it. So there's going to be FUD and there's going to be a retracement, I believe. And then we're going to see the kind of the phoenix rise from the ashes, or see some changes in the markets. Anyway, that's all my thoughts are on these two. I'm going to leave it at that for the minute today. There is a great YouTube channel. There's one here called the Ripple Riddler. And there's another one we talked about earlier on. There's also one by XRP. Oh, there's the other one. Hold on, we've talked about that before. This is XRP Fantasy, and I think he reposted some of the Riddles work, and he's all created some of his own. Yeah, XRP chat. Also, I was trying to work my way around that earlier on today. I'm not quite that au fait with it. And there is the new Ripple Riddlers channel, 12,000 XRP. He's posted a couple of things here. Sam, credits to the lifeboat Sam. He was the one that found this and pointed. Well, he didn't point me to it. He left a hint, and I went and found it. So kudos to Sam. He is the one that's on the ball with this. Jesus, and most of my research has come from those guys who put down an amazing foundation for me to learn from. So massive credit to those, you know, Bullzilla, Sam to the lifeboats, and all the rest of them. Anyway, hope that kind of serves as a good bit of an inkling today. Come over to my Twitter and say hello. It's super important. Please smash a like on this video. Please drop a comment, tell me what you think. And yeah, it's nice to hear from you all in the comments and see what your thoughts are on things as well. And connect with the community. Anyhow, have a blessed day. I hope the video helps, and look forward to hearing and seeing you all in the next video. Take care. Be blessed.